Hello. This video is about heart healing. Let's give ourselves a little white sage because this is a subject that has a lot of ouchies on it, you know. Make you guys put that there. Okay. All right. The question is not whether a heart deserves to be healed. It doesn't matter what you've done or haven't done. It doesn't matter who you have or haven't done it to. Every heart deserves to be healed. If we had a nation full of healed hearts, we would be making very different decisions and we wouldn't have insert bad thing here to deal with. I truly believe this is right. So the ways to heal your heart. Step 1, you have to feel it to heal it. Whatever it is you're trying to push out, whatever pain it is you're trying to not let yourself feel, you're going to have to sooner or later feel it. This might either come in the way of you choosing to do it, to have a good cry, to let yourself go outside and scream, or whatever. And again, this is in your own space. I'm not talking about contacting anybody outside of you. This is internal healing. Wounding someone else, when your heart really hurts, sometimes you might want to. Wounding someone else just creates more loops that you're then going to have to untangle and feel yourself. So first, you have to feel it to heal it. And you have to let yourself feel that emotion. During one of my biggest heartbreaks of my life, I decided that I didn't want to be one of those jaded people walking around still with this wound after however many years. And so I decided that I would sit and cry and allow myself to completely just be wretched until I didn't want to anymore. And it ended up being about a week that I was on the couch. And luckily at that time in my life, I could do that. Granted, I was broke. I wasn't working, but I had just ended a life and was about to start anew and had no idea what I was going to do. So I sat on a couch. I cried. I screamed. I ate weird things. I slept at weird hours. And then after about a week, it got old and I got bored. And so I got up and activated healing. So now, what I would recommend to you is a couple things. If you're still going through a healing time, that you're still mourning something that hurt you, regardless of what it is, whether it was the loss of a loved one, a heartbreak, a thing with your career, who knows? The heart gets wounded in many, many ways. Doesn't matter. I'm not judging what it is. And that's another thing. If you say, oh, well, this maybe it doesn't count, it all counts. The point is how it feels to you. So first, you have to either, if the waves are still coming, you have to ride them through. Just let yourself go into them and then let them dry up. There is something that you can do which is out of alignment, which is kind of milk the pain, and that will make you sick. And I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about because you've asked me about it. So first off, you have to heal. You have to feel to heal. If you're not consciously going through something right now, but you just know you have wounds in there to heal, then bring them up one by one and give yourself a time limit. Set a timer for 5 minutes and say, I'm going to freak out for this 5 minutes. And at the end, I'm going to brush myself off, I'm going to wash my face, and I'm going to continue. That's step 1. Then eventually you'll get bored of this. If there's a song that makes you cry because it reminds you of some type of heartbreak you've had, eventually you will hear that song and it won't make you cry anymore. And crying is a whole other subject. Expect a video at some point on crying because power. Anyway, power that can't be forced. It's like nature. Anyway, so after you've cleaned out, after you no longer feel the really intense parts, and when you're ready to go to the next step, then you come back to yourself. This is so important to remember who you are. And this is partially for yourself and it's partially for the world. We each have a specific place to hold, a specific vibration to carry. And if we're constantly just latching into each other, then we can't. Then we can't provide that which we're meant to provide to each other because we're too busy trying to figure out, well, we're going to get something. No, you are home. You are a divine center. And when you find that part of yourself, when you just let yourself come home to yourself, and the way to do this, I would say, is create some type of really sweet reality, even if it's just going to be for an evening or an hour. that you have everything you need in. You have whatever food you need, you have whatever comfies you need, you have whatever entertainment you want, that kind of thing, by yourself, and enjoy it. And realize, actually, it's nice to just be me. It's nice to just be me. We're each unique. And you're you for reasons. You have amazing superpowers. You have amazing skills and talents that this world needs to shine. It needs you to shine so it can shine. Okay, so you get used to that. And then there's this feeling of satisfaction and of, like I said, coming home to yourself and realizing, okay, this is what I am. And then that doesn't mean that you don't want to still have relationships with other humans and have community and have love and have all the things that you would want. But it's very different when it comes from the state of being hungry versus being sated and allowing yourself to connect because you want to, not because you need to. Okay? Step 2. Step 3 is have your boundaries healthy. One of the things that I've experienced that I've been asking what to teach in my heart healing class is a pattern of people coming and saying, I have walls up around my heart and I want to let them down, but I don't know how, or whatever other reason. There are a few others. But so they want to let these walls down. Well, here's the thing. The only reason you might have walls up around your heart is because you don't necessarily know that you're safe without those walls. But the walls, they're not safe either because they keep you isolated, and that's not safety. So the thing to do is to make strong boundaries. And in order to make strong boundaries, you need to know who you are, which was step 2. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you're doing, who you are, how you feel when you are alone, when you are magnificent in your you-ness. And then when you start to interact with others, you'll be able to say, boundary, this feels good, this doesn't feel good, I will interact here, I won't interact here. And having healthy boundaries, which takes a little practice, because in our culture that is not taught, and it's not necessarily applauded until someone already figures it out. Because there's being a raging you-know-what, which is female version has certain words for it, men version has certain words for it, but there's terrorizing the people around you, which is just not sexy in any way. Some people think it is. I disagree. And then there's letting people walk all over you, the other side of the spectrum, which also just doesn't work. It is not sexy, does not make sense, and doesn't allow you to be what you really are. And it doesn't provide a good example for other people, especially those of you who have children, raising them, that kind of thing. In the middle are healthy, clear boundaries that everyone can respect because they make sense. And if people can't respect them, then you have to decide what to do. You have to decide, feel your way into the truth of what your truth is around, do I still allow this person in my life? Do I go on my merry way, let them go on their merry way? How do I interact here? What is it that feels right to me? And then as you start to navigate in these ways, having released your pain, knowing and enjoying who you are, and having healthy, strong, flexible boundaries, think silicone rather than armor. It can bend and move and shape with different situations, circumstances, moods, realities, but it's you, it's yours, and it keeps you protected, and it lets some things through, not other things through, that kind of thing. A good visualization for this is imagining a beautiful filigree around your aura of protective energy, and things that are healthy and lovely can come through, and things that are not healthy and not lovely and that don't feel good just don't come through. They just bounce off or get transmuted. Or I would recommend against sending them back because that could potentially make another spin. Just transmute them. Just they don't work coming through. Those are some fine points in energy magic. So do what feels right to you. You don't have to listen to everything I said, but those are the 3 steps in heart healing. And of course, you can go more in depth. I'm teaching a class on it. I'm opening the class. The first time I'm going to do it will be February 5th to February 13th, up to Valentine's Day. It's 9 days long. It's in the 3 parts, and it will guide you through more specifically if you want to take a class to do it with others and feel the bit of the tribe as you go along. But it's your decision. You can do it all yourself. It is definitely something that is within your power to do. It's not difficult, although it takes attention. Because really, especially when you're doing that purging stuff, it feels good. I mean, when you need to cry and you cry, heavenly. And then when you start to feel who you are, it changes the game. Like I just said in one of my recent videos, my vlog, if you're connecting because you want to, not because you need to, the game has changed in romance when you know you have everything you need. The reasons that you have a relationship change. Everything changes. The reason that you connect on all levels changes, and the way you connect changes. I believe it evolves. So those are some thoughts on heart healing. Wishing you a healed heart. Like I said, no matter who you are, what you've done, what you haven't done, to whom, yourself or others, everyone deserves to be healed. Everyone deserves to be walking around with healthy hearts. We need it. Do your part to heal yours. It is so worth it. Love you guys.